September 25th, the new Fox Tuesday kicks off with New Girl's new season. Then welcome Ben and Kate.
Stay away from my sister before you find out what 6 years of Krav Maga feels like. Well, like year and a half plus like 4 years on and off I was traveling.
Followed by another all-new New Girl.
What am I looking at here? Pure, unadulterated friendship.
And the Mindy Project.
Can't believe you're tattling.
Tattling is when a little girl does it, okay? When a hot woman does it, it's called whistleblowing.
The new Fox Tuesday, premieres September 25th on Fox.
You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's Glee After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Glee After Show.
Woo! Yeah! Christy, get up here.
Oh, I don't have my choreography set. Here it is. Remember?
Nice.
All right.
Well done.
So if you couldn't tell, tonight was the Britney episode of Glee, the second time of it.
Britney's back, guys.
Britney is back.
She's officially back tonight.
Yes.
And we are back doing another Glee after show. Bing is for doing, and we love doing these Glee after shows for you. So, as we mentioned, this is Britney 2.0. It's the second episode of season 4 of Glee. Can't believe we're already to season 4. And I'm Stephanie Wenger, and I'm joined by all 3 of my co-hosts, 4 of us total.
Yes.
And so I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hey guys, I'm Christy-Anne Lopez.
Hi, I'm Marisa Serafini. And I am Sarah Mendoza.
And we can just jump right into this episode. I think we were all so excited about it.
So good.
Love it. I mean, can we just finally exhale? Because I feel like the whole time we're just like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Well, I love that we're all Britney fans because there's some Britney haters out there. And tonight we were just like all having fun, grooving to Britney's old jams, you know, and just enjoying her music.
Exactly.
The stuff that made her so famous back in the day.
We kept having impromptu dance parties. Let's admit it.
Let's just be real.
And singing. I think we're doing some Glee harmonizing ourselves, right?
Yeah. And the great thing is Britney is such an icon these days, and she is someone that we all, like our generation, grew up with. So that's a great reason why we're excited.
And like this episode, she's making a comeback. She's on X Factor. I think she's doing well. Some people might not agree, but I think she's got her poise back.
I know. I wanted to see a little cameo from Britney. It's all in the Fox family.
Yeah.
So I was sad to not see that happen.
I definitely think it was part of their plan, though. Like, Britney's going to be hosting X Factor. Why don't we do a Britney episode right after X Factor airs? So.
And the fact that they actually did plug X Factor in, into the show.
Brittany was probably watching tonight. Maybe she's listening to her after show now.
Maybe she is.
She can call in. If she's listening, call in. And
go for it.
Yeah, please. Please do. But let's get into the episode here with the Britney meltdown. Britney S. Pierce. She kind of was struggling in this episode. We see her, I think, for the first time coming back. And she's didn't graduate from McKinley. She's back for another senior year. Got kicked off as head cheerleader. So really kind of, at the bottom of the McKinley barrel in a lot of ways. She's not on top anymore, that's for sure.
Well, that's the thing is they kind of opened up the episode and she kind of started her voiceover with like, I'm back, I'm on top, I'm head cheerleader, I'm head of the Glee Club, da-da-da. So it was kind of like, they showed her like at her prime.
Yeah, at her pinnacle, absolutely.
And then, just, and synonymous to Britney Spears' actual career, they kind of showed the breakdown. And it was all right on point.
The thing
Totally
with
reflected it.
they always make it a joke, you know, Britney's downfalls and all her imperfections. But what was a little bit different about how they did it in this episode is, although they did have that element, it was pretty serious at some points. You really saw that she was struggling and borderline depressed, and she needed therapy. Although it was kind of funny how they were doing it with her. They were showing a little bit more of that side where, yeah, it could be all fun and games. We could tease people who are like this, but it's real for them. You know, she misses Santana. She's off the cheer squad. She's depressed eating Cheetos and whatever else every 5 seconds.
Yeah, they reflected Britney's downward spiral in a teenage perspective.
Right.
Which I enjoyed.
I completely agree. I also thought it was interesting, though, because the episode was very much about how the Glee Club supported her and brought her back into their circle, and kind of did the same with some of the other characters, and we'll get into that a little bit later on. But I just felt like with Brittany, it was interesting to see her, because she was so on top, and you see that at the beginning of the episode, and to spiral downward. And the saddest moment for me was seeing the head shaving. I don't know. It was really unfortunate.
That was hilarious.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, it was really funny. Like, they took that moment. I like what Christy pointed out. It really is synonymous. It parallels Britney Spears' rise and fall, and you know, we saw even the paparazzi, because we've got, what's his name, Jacob, the little reporter at the high school. He was a paparazzi for the evening, and he was badgering her amidst her breaking down.
Yeah, and she definitely went TMZ and freaked out. He went TMZ, and she was freaking out. So there was definitely very representative of everything that Britney Spears had happened to her in the last little bit. But she also had some funny moments. We had her using Kiki for Surrey, which
oh my god,
she totally made it up again, you know, in her head, in her little loopy head.
I just think it's amazing too how Heather Morris can just play such a funny character, and but so complex at the same time. Like, you really believe that this girl Heather is really Britney, you know, like that is her, you know.
Yeah. I need to look up videos of how she actually is in interviews, because I can't picture her any other way. She plays it so well.
I believe, I think she's like a calm, normal, collected person. The interviews I've seen with her, not at all this crazy Britney character, which just tells you how great an actor she is.
And her one-liners, they're so simple, and but they're so effective too.
Right. Like an effortless delivery.
Yes, totally effortless.
There should be a night where we just try to deliver Britney lines.
I know. I feel like we need to pull some of these Britney lines and have it be a special segment. But to go on in her storyline, so we kind of see her struggling, and then also struggling in school. She's failing out of math, and we see her make that cartoon on the back of her math test, and she likes crayons a lot. That was something we learned. And her writing looks a little like a second grader's, and you just feel
childish.
Very childish, and doesn't seem to understand that it's important to focus on school. And so you see that's the reason why she's kicked off the cheer squad. And
GPA.
She's not really taking it seriously.
Yeah, and so finally people come to her rescue, and this was really sweet. Mr. Shu and Emma and Sam all come to her rescue in different ways. So what did you guys think of Sam kind of supporting her? That was a surprising little connection.
That was. I thought it was really interesting, and you know, because Britney is such a simple person, I think Sam had to make it very apparent to her, like, I am here for you. And this could be something. You know, just giving the viewers, hint, hint, I really am going to be here for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like the fact that Sam's the one that's been reaching out to everyone so far. Because last week he reached out to Marley. This week he's reaching out to Brittany. So I feel like he's just that go-to person who will, just comfort anyone who's having a hard time.
Right.
He's definitely turning over a new leaf, but I also have to say that there was a little bit of chemistry between him and Brittany. I don't know. Maybe that was just me. Tweet me if you disagree and tell me, no, they're just friends. But I don't know. There was just this moment where I was like, wonder if that's going to...
Yeah. I mean, it did cross my mind because they're obviously very comfortable with each other. She had her head on his shoulder. But I think it was just a moment of them being really good friends, and they've been through the Glee Club together, So they obviously know each other very well. He knows how much she misses and loves Santana.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was total foreshadowing. Like, when I meant, like, you know, I'm here for you, I thought it was like, hint, hint, like, let's totally make out soon.
Yeah.
You know?
I was like, it was this moment of, like, Santana's not here, and I'm sitting right next to you. So, you know, this could totally happen.
Do you guys remember last week, who was it? Was it Marley that was saying that Jake was cute when he was singing, and then Sam got kind of jealous, and he was like, no, he's not. So I feel like Sam's maybe just reaching for attention from other women because Mercedes isn't there.
Oh,
yeah, and it's true. We haven't seen Mercedes back yet. She, Quinn, Finn, and Mike all are not there, not hanging out on at least on our episode 2 of Glee.
Missing.
Yeah, and it's sad. I know we miss those characters. We were figuring out who was missing, and we're just like, oh, that's sad. We want to know what's up with them too. We can't leave our Glee family yet. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about Rachel in New York.
Oh yeah.
I loved every part of it. I love the fact that there is somebody that can put her in her place, because you know she's coming in as a new student, a new freshman, and obviously it's a really hard thing to go from the star in the spotlight 24/7 to just, you know, a nobody at the bottom of, you know, the food chain. But in order to be great, in order to be a real star in the real world, you're going to have to take that. And I appreciated everything that, you know, Miss July did. And I loved learning about Miss July's backstory. Oh my gosh, hilarious.
Yes.
YouTube.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more though about learning to take criticism, and which brings us to a perfect good point. If you have any criticism or comments for us, you know, hit up iTunes, let us know, comment, rate us. So
hit us up.
We love hearing your comments, and
go to iTunes, search AFTERBUZZ TV Glee. Download us, rate, comments, 5 stars.
5 stars.
Yes, exactly. It helps
Tell
us.
a friend.
Happy faces.
We read all the comments.
Yeah, it helps us know what you guys like and maybe dislike, and also, you know, lets us continue to do great programming for you. So.
Yeah, buddy.
And if you say something nice, we might give you a shout out too.
Shout out.
Watchtower Base, yes, hello. Thank you for watching us.
We love all your comments. So let's jump back to Rachel here, and she is definitely struggling in New York in a completely different way than Brittany is, though. Her dance teacher is coming down hard on her, and I think this is the first time we've seen her get real criticism. She's struggled to fit in before, but about her performance, I don't feel like in Glee Club she ever was like had problems with that.
Right.
No, it was like I feel where Cassandra July, she was coming from a real place. We found out in her backstory that she had harsh criticism, and so it was only fitting that she would give the harsh criticism back. You know, what goes around comes around. And I think it was actually really on point, and it's something that Rachel could actually take into consideration and learn from it.
I agree and disagree with some of it. Like I think that yes, Rachel should have to undergo constructive criticism and learn how to deal with that, and you know, take it and better herself. But I feel like Kate Hudson's character, what's her name, Cassie July, I thought she was wrong. Like, I thought she rocked it in that performance, and it was just, for me, just a snotty thing to do because she was trying so hard to prove herself to her. Like, I think she's probably doing this revenge thing because she had to go through all this crap in her career, that she's taking it out on this new girl, you know, who might be going down the same path or whatever.
I feel like there's definitely a stereotype of the performing arts teacher who goes back to high school or college, and it's like they didn't succeed in whatever career path they chose, singing, dancing, what have you, and they come back and are just bitter about it. And I feel like she's kind of playing that stereotype up for sure. That's Kate Hudson's character. But Rachel, let's talk about that, rocked her performance.
So rocked it.
It was really uber sexual, though.
It was a bit different for Rachel, because if we saw Rachel 3 years ago doing this, we would have never thought it would happen.
No,
Exactly.
Then to see this type of performance, like, wow, it was just...
But I'll be honest, I still feel like I wasn't convinced by it. I'm sorry. Like,
Really?
it was good and it was sexy, but almost too overtly sexy, where it was too apparent that you're trying to be sexy. You know, like what Britney brings to the table when she performs, there's still that teasing factor where like you don't know what's to come or whatever. But like this was like full on straddles and you know people underneath each other. And from an artistic standpoint, I feel as if, you know, if I were to be Miss July, I would give it harsh criticism as well.
For me, it felt more like very burlesque, you know, which is a choice. It's very risque, and you're right. Maybe she's not naturally the most sexiest person. That's why you think of that separation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because if Kate Hudson did the exact same thing, you'd be like, oh my God, like sweating
That's
yourself,
amazing.
like dear God, you know, that was amazing. But
Absolutely.
maybe she's just trying to get comfortable with it or whatever, but at least she's trying.
For me, it felt like kind of a break in the character. I thought it was an amazing performance, but it's not really a Rachel thing. It's this completely 180-degree turn, and it more reminded me, and this may be because I'm such a Glee fan that I know all of this, but like when Lea Michele is on the cover of GQ or those kinds of magazines and she poses in those sexy ways, it felt like Lea Michele doing a performance, which is fantastic. It just didn't necessarily fit the character for me, I guess.
But if you... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, and I was just going to point out the outfits that they were wearing, because Glee is very, as you can see, they're very colorful and happy and vibrant. And New York is, they're all black and just like so stoic and darker a bit. And even in last week's episode, Rachel was still wearing red and everyone else was wearing black. But this performance, she was wearing black again. So she's like transforming into a New York.
Right.
New York
and
vibe.
I think the stylist for the show has talked about that is an intentional choice that they're making, that they want this new Rachel to emerge in New York City. So I mean, that's exciting, I guess, in season 4 to have a character switch in that way, but it just feels very quick. I guess it's episode 2 and it's 180 degrees from where we were at.
But if you think about Rachel, she is like all-in type of character where she wants to go, you know, feet first, head first, whatever the saying is, and just give it her all. And here she encounters a woman who doesn't think she has talent, and she just wants to try so hard, in my opinion, to give her what she thinks would be, you know, a good performance. So she's like, okay, well, I'm going to be the most sexiest person. And yeah, it's not really her, but she's going to try and do it anyways.
But that's so Rachel, too, because we've seen throughout all these seasons that Rachel will do anything to get people's approval.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she's not getting Miss July's approval, so she's going over the top in order to get that good criticism.
I mean, I just died when she said that you're appropriate for a Shrek role.
It's like, at least give her Fiona. You know? Sometimes you're a
but she enlists Brody's help definitely to get to that sexy point, and he kind of is giving her a very clear message. He was like, I think you're sexy, I can make you sexy in this performance. And
exactly.
Yes, it was.
Oh, here it is. Here it is on the screen right there.
Yeah, exactly. So
for those of you listening, we're watching the very scene.
Yes, and so it's absolutely was kind of that moment where you're like, oh, he clearly likes her, and he wishes
more than likes her.
Yeah, Finn is out of the picture, and we see by the end of the episode he goes and visits her in Kurt and her loft, which we'll talk briefly about in a second. But he admits how sexy she was and how he loves dancing with her, tries to kiss her. She kind of pushes him away and doesn't want that to happen, but he admits every time he does anything with her, that's what he's going to be thinking about, that he just wants to kiss her.
And I'm sweating again just thinking about the scene. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was one of the most heated moments of Glee, because Glee is not a very sexual show overall, and yeah, that was definitely a heated moment for Glee. And Kurt and Rachel did move in together. We just briefly mentioned it, and that's super exciting too for her. So
in this, what is that place? Yeah, it's like
it's a lot.
Completely empty.
It's like a factory.
It reminded me of like something you would see in Rent.
Right. Is that what they call a flat?
Yeah.
It might be.
A bare flat.
Where anywhere near New York can you ride your bicycle, have that much
like
that's
space?
Impossible. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, every person I know who lives in New York, it's like, oh, this is your apartment. It's like the size of
and for $1,800 too. That's
Yeah.
But just like, going back to Rachel and Hottie. Brody. I mean, it's like, just to break down the perspectives, it's like, that was really strong of Rachel to do. Obviously she still loves Finn and cares about him so much. I mean, she was just talking about him right before he came to the door, and the fact that a man was coming to her, for her support when she's feeling very weak and vulnerable, like, that took a really strong young woman to be able to kind of like, back off. But let's just say that there obviously is a change happening, because she did paint over his name at the end of the episode.
When your man's not calling you and you haven't heard from him for more than a month, if that were me, like 2 weeks ago, it would have been me and Brody.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was kind of like, you're stupid, just kiss him. But I'm like, oh my God, good girl. Wow, I'm proud of you. Except I'm really pissed off at you at the same time.
Yeah. Okay. So as we've talked about time after time on the show, I'm a huge Finchel fan, but I totally agree. If he doesn't call you and he's just ignoring you, and you have this great guy who is supporting you in every way in New York.
Pretty much
Great guy.
It might be time to move on, and I hate saying that because I want them to be together.
Well, why would Rachel want to be the only one doing anything in her relationship? Like, why would she be the one to try calling Finn or you know?
But we did see Finn set her free, and Finn purposely left the pictures so she can go and be on her own.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree, but I just want, and he is in the army. That's where we left it, that he was going to the army. So he may not have access to a phone, or there are other issues that
we don't know that he's in the army yet.
No, that's true, because we haven't seen him this season. So, but where we left off, we assume he was going to the army. So he may not have access to a way of talking to her, but still, you got to make it happen somehow, and it seems like Brody's there, and it's kind of
In the end one of the end montages where they're cutting to like her just looking at the wall with her painting that says Finn. I kind of wish that instead of that, because it was so corny, like they actually cut to wherever in the world Finn is and what he's doing, so we know what's up with him.
Just a glimpse of Finn.
Yeah, we've got some eager fans that are waiting to see just see his face for 1 second.
Finn glimpse.
I think I read on Twitter this week that he was filming in Philadelphia. I don't know what he's doing in Philadelphia. I don't have, but that's something that he apparently is doing. So, I mean, it's according to Twitter, so
So that's very credible.
Take it with a grain of salt, as always. But so, if you're into Glee and everything that's going on Glee, because this season has been so good, you're going to love the new Fox comedies that premiere September next week, September 25th at 8 p.m. It starts off with a new Girl.
Yes, I cannot even wait. I freaking love New Girl.
I know. I can't get enough of that show. We have my friends and I have viewing parties. We love it.
Well, you girls have to watch it. I mean, you literally crack up, dying laughing.
I've been told to watch it, and
funny.
I'm going to get to it.
So that's a fantastic show. So that starts off at 8 o'clock. Then you have a new show also from the producers of New Girl called Ben and Kate, and I was able to check out the premiere episode of it.
I watched it too.
So funny.
Oh, cool.
And I love the brother-sister dynamic, because I have a brother that's really close to me in age too, and if you have siblings, it's totally relatable.
Oh my God, love it.
And you and I will die because we get a second all-new episode of New Girl at 9 o'clock.
Right. Oh my God, that's so right.
So good. So amazing. And then I know all these Office fans will love Mindy Kaling's new show that finishes off the night, The Mindy Project. And
hilarious.
So good. She plays a doctor, and it's just like all of us 20-year-old girls, what you go through in dating and jobs and balancing it all. It's so relatable. Love the show. So,
that's so awesome. Sounds good.
I so hate that my TV's not working right now. So all of you guys have to watch it for me, Brittany.
I know. We need to have
record it for me or invite me over.
I know, exactly. I was
Girl, you can come here any day.
Exactly. we can totally make that happen. So the last new kind of couple of the night here was Marley and Jake.
Wait, it's the couple that never was though, because
potential couple. Can we call it a potential couple?
Yes, let's call it the potential couple.
Something's going on.
It's a work in progress.
Yes.
Absolutely. They, she obviously wants to be with him, and oh, that scene on the stairs. Oh,
the corny scene.
It was a bit over the top.
Oh, I mean, I think I've admitted this before on AfterBuzz. I love cheesy things. Like, can't get enough of cheesy television, and this was a little over the top for me. But the singing was unbelievable, for sure. And I don't know. I feel like they have good chemistry though between them.
I mean, their voices together are just like angelic, you know? Those are two voices you want to hear together. And the thing I liked the most was the womanizer number going into their whole, matchmaking or whatever it is. Thinking that she's going to be like this strong woman, like, don't fall for him, da-da-da. But you can't help who
sometimes you can.
You just can't help it.
And then sometimes when you know you can't have it or you shouldn't have it, you want it even more.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes.
So true.
But I love the fact that going off the corniness factor and how cheesy it a bit was, the fact that he gave her his jacket.
I mean, it was just so predictable,
cold.
right?
Yeah, so predictable.
I mean,
oh my god,
LA heat. It looked like the sunniest day in LA.
We've all done that ourselves, though. When we were in high school, we were with the boy we have a crush on, and you're just with him. You're like, well, I'm getting kind of cold right now.
And that's legit. And that's like legit. When you get a jacket, it's like, okay, this is getting serious.
It's so true.
We've all done it.
But that's like one of my favorite things about Glee is that it's so nostalgic for high school and everything that you kind of go through in those high school relationships, including what happens to them next, which is the mean cheerleader, Kitty comes up to poor Marley and says, oh, he's my boyfriend now. And it was a hard moment to watch, I think.
It was harder that Marley had to give the jacket, like literally take it off and give it to Kitty.
Yeah, the jacket in high school is like the key to everything. It's like when you're wearing the guy's jacket, you're in that relationship.
Yeah, and literally taking it off and just breaking that up.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it really does symbolize, like, it officiates kind of your relationship. And it was one of those things, too, where you did not expect Kitty to come around. Like, you thought, like, oh, this is going to work. Yay. By the end of this episode, they're going to be an item. And then crazy cheerleader comes in.
With, of course, Kitty and Jake being together, it's just like, they belong together. They're both hard asses, excuse my language. They're not the nicest people. They're both kind of bullies, but then if he had stuck with Marley, I think she would have been the person, or maybe she will be later on in the season, to like turn him around. She's the girl next door. She's the sweet girl, the daughter of the lunch lady,
Yeah. I think that Jake is a little lost right now, though, and we see Mr. Shoe and Puck comes back.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
So amazing. And to try to put him on the right path and get him into the Glee Club, and he actually does end up joining the Glee Club, but after he has all these issues with Marley, he doesn't know where to sit, and it just feels like the first day of high school, so confused, and so I think you're gonna see a lot of struggle with him.
I loved Puck's pep talk. He just came back so mature and so more well-rounded as a human being, and just to like experience, because Puck had a hard time and he knows what his brother's going through, and he just came from the heart.
So true.
By the way, one of my favorite lines, Puck saying that he has to go back to LA. He's dating the third runner-up on the Bachelor.
That was hilarious. That was too
phenomenal.
That was too good.
So good.
And I was like, that's not even just a line. Like, that's true. Like, he's probably legit actually gonna do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it might be an LA joke. Like, we all live in LA, so we appreciate it. But I feel like it might transcend that.
Yeah.
There's truth behind
that's where he's still kind of the same Puck. He still does those things, but he's more mature, and like what Marisa said, in that he'll actually take the time to reach out to his younger brother and help him out, give him some words of wisdom.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really quick, I just wanted to go back to Marley and Jake's number together, the Crazy. You know, I like just the way that they rearranged that song, and obviously we opened up with the actual original version, but just like to slow it down and kind of like symbolize like their lives are a little bit crazy. You know what I mean? They're on totally different levels of the social status, and you know, what you do see is that I think Marley makes Jake like, it brings out his softer side. Obviously everybody else sees the superficial, hardcore badass, when really he's like a caring guy, just how Puck is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely the hard exterior and the good guys underneath it, and that's always what I felt like Puck was the good guy, but just had, you know,
layers.
Yeah, layers, and just a very hard shell on the outside.
Sorry, I just thought of Shrek again.
We just can't leave it, can we?
No, because you know how Shrek says in the movie he's an onion, he has a lot of layers. You know, okay, anyways.
No, it's the perfect way.
I would be in the nerd club if I was at this high school.
It's a perfectly legitimate comment.
So funny.
It fits right in. We're good. So let's go into more of these performances tonight. I think we had 8 Britney performances.
8. A lot of songs.
A lot of songs in an hour, and a lot of story with it too, which was great.
To go along with what Christy was saying, I did notice that they did more like acoustic-based, harmony-based performances tonight. We saw it in, as she said, the Crazy between Jacob and Marley, and then I loved Tina's trio with who are the other two? I couldn't even remember because she was so good. I was focusing on her.
She was so good.
But
that was unique. Alex Newell's character.
Okay.
And Joe.
And Joe, yeah.
And Joe.
Samuel Larson.
And that was so good. And it was so simple. It wasn't this huge like Glee production number where it's obviously pre-recorded and it's like a big stage number or whatever. It was just the 3 of them sitting down in the room, harmonizing, and just like totally giving us an amazing performance.
Yeah.
But on the opposite end of that scale, we had Hold It Against Me at the beginning of the episode with Brittany and all the Cheerios, and that's just like Glee at its biggest, you know, like huge production number, full on. I mean, I happen to like that one. I thought it was a great start to the episode. I always like when they start with a high energy song versus something small.
I liked High Energy, but I honestly wasn't that impressed by it for a first song.
You and I always differ on the songs.
I know. We always do this, but it's good. It makes good comedy.
I like High Energy because it hooks all the audience in like right away, and then we're already watching.
Yeah.
It sets the tone.
Yes. And with Britney, that's what you expect. You expect a huge, dynamic, crazy performance. So what was refreshing and kind of just like something you appreciated was to slow it down. It was to rearrange it and make it acoustic. And like then that's when we really, I know that we were just talking about how much we appreciated all of Britney's songs because you forget how good they really are, you know?
Yeah. I think the songs reflect their emotions too. In the beginning of the episode, they were all like really excited, and then like throughout, when the songs got more calmer, the stories got more real, and it just a nice reflection of that.
I couldn't agree more with that for sure. But we also had, I think we talked about this in our news and gossip, that they were going to do a boys and boyfriend mashup.
I loved it.
Christy couldn't get enough.
I could not get enough. I was like, keep this going. Okay, I just want to say, Artie has a really seductive voice.
He does.
Like, I'm just like, oh, excuse me, Artie. Let me just roll with you really quick.
And I personally can never get enough of Blaine's voice. I mean, it's just crazy.
He's so charming, too. His performance is always great.
It's so fun to watch.
And they found a way to do a mashup of that where it really worked, for me at least. I felt like it could have gotten weird very easily because those 2 songs are so different, and it worked. I was really happy with it, and I'm totally going to download it as soon as I leave here, just as an FYI to all of you.
I like the fact that Brittany, what was she eating? Oreos?
Yeah.
She was eating Oreos throughout the whole thing.
What was she not eating this episode, guys?
True. Yeah.
Oh, and I was like getting hungry as I was watching her.
Craving all this junk food.
Yeah.
And then we went to Womanizer, which we talked a little bit about. Crazy.
Jake being
was
a
fun.
pimp in it.
Yeah,
That was fun, high energy.
High energy, really well sung, I felt like.
Yes. I mean, that was just like fierce, you know? And when Alex can perform, he goes all out. And I know that you and I agree on this, Marisa, all the time, but he just like, He just blows it out of the park every time.
He's a true performer.
Oh my
He
God.
just brings everything. He just like literally leaves his heart on the stage.
Yeah.
So good.
So good.
With Tina too in that song.
Oh God, yes.
They featured her more than other episodes in this one.
Yeah, I love hearing Jenna sing. I feel like she's a little underutilized on the show, so it's always fun to have her come in and belt it out because she's so good.
And now she can because Rachel's gone. So.
Yeah. Hopefully get to see more of her too. And then Marley and Jake, well, we talked about 3, and then Marley and Jake went ahead and did Drive Me Crazy with Aerosmith's Crazy as well. So another mashup we have going on there. You know what it reminded me of? Do you remember when Britney performed with NSYNC and Aerosmith at the Super Bowl?
Oh my God, yes. One of my favorite Super Bowl performances ever.
That feels like so long ago. Huh?
I know.
So long ago.
That's when she was on point, like prime, like crazy abs. Oh God, Brittany, I love you.
I know. I was just like, oh, and I think Justin and Brittany were still a couple back then. It was just a whole different time.
Right.
Yeah.
So opposite from the Give Me More performance tonight, you know.
What did we think of them going that way with that performance? They were definitely kind of...
They were poking fun.
Yeah, it was reminiscent of Britney Spears' infamous VMA performance, trying to make a comeback.
Where she was out of it.
Yeah, when she was out of it, not, the strongest dancing. It didn't feel, to me, very Glee. I feel like Glee is a very happy show, and it felt a little... like mean-spirited to go that direction with it.
Right. You know what it was? I think it went a little too long. I think we would have gotten the point if Britney had just done like one verse and then they pulled her off stage, but they went on forever and ever with her eating the Cheetos, looking all drunk, and
it felt like because they like to honor people. I always felt like that was the point of these 1-hour tribute episodes, was to honor the artist. And Britney has so many great songs and so many great performances. Why go there with it? It just felt like it's fine to have a meltdown, but it just felt a little, I guess, out of bounds to me.
I don't think it was needed. Because we could see throughout that whole episode she was having a downward spiral, and then just to have an extra performance to convey that, it felt a bit redundant.
Well, here's the thing. It's kind of like, I don't know if you guys remember when you actually watched that performance, the real Britney performance at the VMAs. It was completely uncomfortable and it was very real. So I feel like as a viewer watching that, you were kind of taken back to that emotion where it was like, oh my God, like this is real and she really is going through something that's, public and, like legitimate. She's really breaking down in front of everyone's eyes. So I think they did it on purpose to kind of be like, yeah, Britney really does need some help. So I get that it felt like a little bit long, but I think it also, the second message was, like the real message of Glee is you cannot lip sync. And I think they were just trying to say, in a lot of performances today, in a lot of productions and concerts, people lip sync, and that's not okay. There's a difference between a lip synced production and a real, performance with heart and voices. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I think the message was.
I know. I completely understand that. I just felt like, I guess that I would have preferred to see maybe Britney lip sync in the choir room or something, some smaller venue, and then have her come out and do like a stronger and a big way on that stage instead of have this long kind of mean-spirited performance, at least in my opinion. But I totally get what they were trying to get across too.
It was almost as if we were just being like hit over the head again and again and again with each highlight from Britney's meltdown, because we did the shaving of the head thing, we did that performance. What didn't we do tonight? So it was almost a little predictable and we kept on getting it.
She didn't have kids.
Yeah, she didn't have kids.
Pop out some kids.
Not yet, at least.
I have to say, though, this may be because I loved Britney when I was 12, so I feel protective of the Britney I knew when I was 12. So that's fair, too. And then we ended the episode with We Were All Dying. That song, why? But Marley singing Every Time, which...
I always loved that song.
She did it justice.
Oh, I mean, she did. I totally loved it. But we were all just like, oh, this song is so emotional.
Yes.
Right.
And it's also where we see Rachel painting over the fin in her dorm. There's a montage that happens with it. And just kind of, played on all those emotions that you felt throughout the episode. I thought that it was a nice way to tie up the episode for sure.
This is where we were saying Marley has definitely proven herself in the vocal aspect thus far this series, but you know, she might need a little bit work with the acting. Just a little bit, but she's just getting started. It's her first time on a huge national TV show. You know, and she's probably used to singing. She's probably been classically trained or whatever her whole life, and maybe this acting gig's new for her, so she's still trying to, you know, warm up to it.
Yeah, definitely. So should we get into some news and gossip?
Yes. Do we need to take a break?
AfterBuzz TV News.
I'll start us off with something. So Lea Michele is going to be, she just signed a contract to be the new face of L'Oreal Cosmetics. So that's super exciting. And I think that this is her first big endorsement deal other than Skechers. So that's always nice to be paired up with a cosmetic brand. Big stars do that. So she's definitely using the platform of Glee, and she joins Beyonce, J-Lo, Eva Longoria, and Gwen Stefani to do it. So
there's some big names.
That's a big deal for
and
her.
That's smart of L'Oreal. She is the it girl on TV right now.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think that she is one of the most recognizable faces from TV at this point. Her, Sofia Vergara, people like that are definitely making a name for themselves. And then the creator of Glee, Ryan Murphy, talked about that with all the changes that have happened on the show, he kind of has a really renewed passion for the series. We've seen him move on to American Horror Story and some of his other projects, and he has a new sitcom on NBC as well. So it's nice to hear that he's not done with Glee and he's still super actively involved in the show. He was telling The Hollywood Reporter that he loves the direction that Lea Michele and Kate Hudson are taking, and I think we all agree that that's a super fun storyline. And any other ones did you guys want to share?
Yeah, so I was online and I saw on hitfix.com Becca Tobin. They were interviewing her. She plays Kitty on the show, the mean cheerleader. What I thought was really interesting is that she actually said that was her in high school. She admits that she kind of had a mean spirit and she wasn't the greatest person all the time. So this character has really taken her back to that time, and it's made her see things kind of differently. So I thought that was really interesting that she's actually pulling from a real place. And it's very wow, gutsy of her to actually admit that, you know, but also say that, hey, I'm realizing that maybe, you know, I wasn't the greatest person, you know, and I want to change.
That's a big thing to admit in a public spectrum, for sure.
Exactly. And then let's get a round of applause for this one. Oh, yeah. Give me more.
There we go.
Okay. So Glee, the premiere actually had 8.1 million viewers last week, and that's up 25% compared with its season 3 average.
We're not alone in being Glee.
Right. And up
Glee Nation!
Yes.
Right. And then up 10% versus last year's graduation theme finale. So it is doing very well for a good start here.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I think that's
so
great. And the 4th season to come back stronger is a big feat for them. So, woohoo. And we'll do a lightning round of predictions if we can.
Lightning round.
Lightning round.
Fast, quick.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV.
Sorry. Oh, I thought I was something. Okay.
So, being the Finchel fan that I am, I'm going to go with a prediction that Finn is going to come back and Rachel is going to have moved on a little bit and he's going to be ridiculously heartbroken. So, in the next couple episodes, I think that's what's going to happen. Christy?
I'm with you, Stephanie. I was gonna say this same exact thing, except I thought he would maybe come into the picture right when her and Brody were making out, in the middle of a hookup or something like that. Because that would be heartbreaking, right?
So heartbreaking to watch for sure.
Getting off the Finchel topic, we see for next week that we see Sarah Jessica Parker's character.
Yay!
I'm excited,
So excited.
and I think she's going to be a complete foil to Cassandra July, because Cassandra, she's really harsh, and I think Sarah Jessica Parker, she's gonna be the soft and nurturing kind of character. Hopefully.
I hope so. With
Kurt,
right?
Yeah,
I think
Kurt.
I
Just
believe
like
she's
this balance.
Yeah, playing the editor
new
at
people.
Vogue, or somebody who works at Vogue. So that'll be fun to see. Kurt and Vogue. That's a perfect pairing to me.
I think you guys took all my predictions, but what I'd like to see, is like besides more Puck and Jake and Brody. There's too many hot guys in this. I want to see like a showdown performance between Marley and Kitty.
Oh, yeah. It's on.
It is on.
That was a kitty.
More like a devil, girl.
That was like a devil.
That was awesome.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm Stephanie Wenger, and you can find me on Twitter at Stephanie Wenger. Christy?
Oh, you can follow me on Twitter at MissClo, MISSC_LO.
And you can find me on Twitter and on Instagram. That's Marisa Movies, Marisa Movies.
Oh, that's a good idea. Give me the Instagram. My Instagram is Sarah with an H, Grace Mendoza, and my Twitter is at Sarah with an H, Mendoza. Was that confusing?
No, I
No,
Totally got that.
Too much going on.
Well, until next time, Gleeks, thanks for watching.
Gleeks.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later, Glee. Loser.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.